Students, this is chapter number 12, support, movement and locomotion. By the end of today's lesson, you would be able to define joints. Then we will explain the different type of joints, which include fixed or fused joints or synovial joints, which are also known as movable joints. Then we will see the types of synovial joints, which include ball and socket joint and hinge joint. Then we will study about some characteristics of muscles which are important to know to understand how we are able to move. Let's see the joints first and their types. Joints are actually locations at which two or more bones make contact. Here in the diagram you can see that the two bones are making the contact. These are constructed to allow movement and mechanical support. Joints are basically of two types, synovial joints and fixed joints. Fixed joints are also known as fused joints, and they do not allow any degree of movement or any kind of movement. On the other hand, synovial joints are the joints that are able to provide us with certain degree of movement. These are further classified into ball and socket joint and hinge joint. Synovial joint have some generalized structure from which we have to know that what kind of structures are involved in synovial joint. The function of them are written here. In the diagram you can see that we have synovial membrane, we have ligament, synovial fluid, cartilage, and we can see humerus and ulna making the hinge joint. Cartilage covers the end of the bones. It is smooth and acts as a shock absorber and stops the two bones from rubbing together. So whenever the joints are moving, these bones are moving over each other. To prevent the friction and to prevent the damage, the bones are covered with cartilage, which helps to prevent the friction so that the damage is prevented. Then we have synovial membrane, which encloses the joints and secretes synovial fluid. You can see here that the membrane is enclosing the joint, and between the membrane is a fluid which serves to lubricate the joints and makes movement easy. Then we have ligaments. This is a connective tissue that we have read in our previous lecture also. It's a tough elastic strand that holds two bones together at the joints and prevent dislocation. Ball and socket joint is a kind of a synovial joint which allows movement in more than one plane. As you can see in the animation here that the joint is able to move in more than one plane. One of the bones has a ball-like shape at the end which fits into the socket on the other end of the another bone. If you can see in the animation here, one end of one bone is a ball-like structure while the other end of the bone is a socket-like structure into which the ball is fitted into, and the movement is in more than one plane. The example of ball and socket joint includes the shoulder joint, hip or pelvic joint. Then we have hinge joint. It allows movement in only one plane. As you can see in the animation that the movement is only allowed in one plane. The example of hinge joint include knee joint and elbow joint. Now let's study the characteristics of muscles. Muscles can only contract and relax. So here in the animation you can see that while we are moving our arm, the muscles are contracting and relaxing. This muscle which is above is called bicep muscles, while the muscles which are aligned downward are called tricep muscles. These muscles are able to contract and relax when impulses reach there. The ends of skeleton muscles are attached to bones by tough inelastic tissues called tendon. Here the skeleton muscles are attached to bones which we call the origin, and then on the other end they are being inserted to another bone with the help of tough inelastic connective tissue called tendon. Muscles can only pull but can never push. Means that they can only be contracted, and when they relax they do not expand. They only acquire their original shape. They cannot be pulled beyond their original position. They pull only when they contract. So we got to know now that whenever a muscle contract, only then it can pull the bone upward. Here in this case When it is contracted, its length shortens. Again, you can see in the diagram here that the bicep muscles, whenever they are contracted, they become fatter and shorter in length. On the other hand, when they relax, they get thinner or flatter and becomes longer in length. When returning to their original length, they relax, not expand.